I fell pregnant, I'd been working in the same industry for about 15 years. And I'd always been financially independent. But we consciously made a choice to start a family, and we did have the financial stability to give our children the gift of having one stay-at-home parent, which I think is absolutely great. And logically, you would choose the parent who earns the most to be the parent who stays in the job. And then I said, I want X amount of your salary, just transferred into my bank account. Even though it wasn't my money, it was in a way, of course, because we decided to have our family set up in that way. When we separated, that became a little bit of a thing, though.
Women do not create themselves as financially autonomous units. So that starts really young. So we might make lots of micro decisions that we don't realise mean that we don't have financial independence. You know, as soon as you go on maternity leave, it's likely that your pension contributions will go down. So even if it's just for 1 year that you're off, there's a dip in your pensions contributions. So you're making that choice without really making a choice at all. Then there's the return to work moment where you might be deciding to reduce your hours, whether it's temporary or full-time. And there's two impacts of that. One is obviously your future earning potential is decreased, so the gender pay gap starts to divide out, but also your pensions income is decreased. So you've got two gaps happening there at the same time. And the other biggie is around divorce.
Men do still, because of their careers, they do recover much better than women do after divorce and separation. The average woman's pension pot following divorce is zero.
The pension talk was almost immediately sort of like off the table.
What has been a big problem with finance is that the industry tends to think about one-size-fits-all products, and they don't fit.
The experiences they have and the inequality they face compounds and multiplies over time. So that's why it's a life course issue. So it's not just about what happens at one point in your life, it's not just a snapshot of inequality, it's a lifetime of it, and that lifetime doesn't diminish with age, it grows.
I can't see a good argument for not thinking about women and money when the evidence shows there's such a big gap. It's not okay to leave over half of the population behind.
Well, I'm 76 and I have been divorced for about, getting on for 30 years actually. Once our marriage was finished, I had to cope with the finances I had never had to cope with before. I learned how to pay all the household bills, but I was very spoilt and I took it all for granted. I didn't realise, particularly financially, I didn't realise how much I relied on him to cope with the financial side of our marriage.
We've done some research on women today, and we find that if you strip out education differences, wealth differences, and so on, you find that women are prepared to take as much risk as men. And in fact, often more in some cases. So it's not that women per se are less confident, it's just that some of them feel they need more financial education.
I was saying, like, if I felt like I didn't know how to pay a bill or something, like I could ask you and you'd probably be able to tell me how to do it.
Okay.
But then I was thinking, like...
But Mum did that too.
Okay, would you?
I feel less comfortable in anything to do with, like, sort of money and finances, and men are talking about money and investments and stuff to other men, and it's just like I don't even read it. Do you know what I mean? I don't even take it in because I'm like, you're not talking to me.
Very often you kind of feel that financial products and financial policy is made by men, for men, and women are a bit of an afterthought.
Getting all the finances sorted out this year is going to be a massive project because I wouldn't know exactly where to start. it wouldn't be a bad thing at all to have a bit more clarity of where to go and what to do and how to get everything sorted.
It's so obvious that we need to do something about this. So I just get anyone who writes it off or minimalises it or trivialises it, they're missing a trick. I see it as an opportunity. If you can get things right for women, you get things right for women and men.